Hello, friends. Tattooed Biker here with you, and welcome back to Freakish Fridays. In tonight's video, we're going to explore the mysterious and fascinating world of alien encounters and abductions. I've received some incredible stories from our viewers, and I can't wait to share them with you. So sit back, grab a cup of tea, and just enjoy the ride. Number 1. Dear TB, please don't use my whole name, but I'll give a few relevant details about my identity. My name is Rachel. I'm 37 years old, and I've been a driver for a transport company for about 10 years now. I had a traumatizing experience that I haven't been able to explain or share until now. It's been haunting me bad ever since it happened, and I feel like I need to tell someone. On June 15th of 2020, I was driving later than I like. It was after midnight, going down Highway 67 on my way to a Love's Rest area, when my radio started giving me static. It happens a lot on the road, but this was stronger, and it wasn't stopping. Out of nowhere, all the streetlights within my view shut off, all at the same time. It was pitch black. Just after the lights went out, I saw this big, dark, triangle-shaped object hanging in the air right above the road ahead of me. It had lights all over the bottom that looked like they were alternating. I got a sinking feeling in my stomach real quick when I saw that thing, but before I could hit the brakes, everything became really cold and went suddenly dark. It was like something hit me over the head and knocked me clean out. The next memory I have after that point was in a big, bright, metallic chamber. The walls were mostly smooth, and they met at the top like a point, with the inside of a pyramid, but the corners began to soften and form sort of a cone shape at the peak. I was literally paralyzed, unable to move, floating at an angle in some kind of strange, warm liquid. When my eyes focused, I saw these things. They had arms and legs like people, with long heads and clear skin. It was like I could almost see through them. There were 5 of these things, and they were just observing me from the corners of the room, but I felt threatened and nauseous. They came up to me and put their hands in the liquid surrounding me, pulling me down a short hallway into a room with big foreign machines and what looked like counters connecting them. They put me into a machine that looked sort of like an upright CT scanner. One of them had this faint, white glowing orb in his hand, and when they had me fastened in the machine, he stuck that thing right in my mouth. After that, I felt a searing pain shoot through my whole body, and I started dreaming, or at least it felt like I was dreaming. I just had these horrible, vivid nightmares, one after the other, full of twisted shapes and a deep feeling of dread. Those creatures were there in the dreams too, just watching me. They were looking directly at my eyes as if they were watching my soul. But they didn't seem to care at all how scared I was. When I tried to scream, one of the beings stepped up really close to me and pushed the glowing ball that was in my mouth on down my throat. I don't remember anything else that happened after that. I just woke up back on the highway, lying in the middle of the asphalt. I got up off the road and onto the shoulder as quick as I could before any cars came through. Just ahead of me, I could see through a big gap in the guardrails that my truck was flipped over in the ditch. I guess it continued on its own after I was taken and plowed through the guardrails. After I got myself back together, I walked the rest of the way to the Loves and called the police and told them about the wreck, but not about how it happened. Some of the police checked the crash site, and 2 of them talked to me in person at the rest area. I had no injuries on me, but they drove me to the emergency room anyway because of the severity of the truck's condition. Every day since that night, I've lived in constant fear. I don't know what they did to me or why they took me, but I've been seeing them in my nightmares and in ordinary things around me ever since. Number 2. Hello, Biker. My name is R. At the time of the incident, I was living in China Grove, North Carolina. It was March 30th, 2007. First off, I just want to say I never looked into aliens or researched them or anything like that until this event happened to me. I would also like to add that I'm only doing this so that someone can help me understand more of what happened, as I can't talk to family or friends about this. No one believes me. I'm hoping to get some info on regression therapy from someone who maybe is local to me. On the night of the incident, which was around 18 years ago, I was sleeping in my bed next to my girlfriend at the time. We were living with her mother. Her house was right at the edge of the woods, and just following that was an open, what used to have been cornfields. We weren't in the country by any means. Just where our house was happened to be right on the farmland. Our bedroom had one window, and it was facing the trees and fields. As I lay sleeping, I sort of wake up and see a couple of light balls come through the window and into the room. I don't remember being scared or anything. The rest plays out like scenes, with no transitions though. The next thing I see is that the lights are gone, and I see 3 beings in my room. 2 small ones and 1 bigger. All were pretty small though. 2 were maybe 3.5 feet tall, and the other one was about 4.5 feet. I remember not being able to move. One was standing in front of the TV, and as I remember it, it was almost transparent, as I could see the TV straight through him. Almost like 50% transparency. The other one was standing by my girlfriend. Then I remember one was suddenly on top of me. I couldn't tell if it was straddling me or not, but I was lying down, so I assumed so. I was in complete fear and shock. No words can describe it. I tried my best to wake my girlfriend, but she wouldn't move. The one on top of me got inches from my face, and its eyes paralyzed me. The next thing I remember is waking up at 6 a.m. and being really thirsty. I have 3 other similar times that happened as well, all in different locations. I never remember being on a craft, though. This always just takes place in my room. Like I said, it's happened a couple more times, like once every couple of years. Most were similar to the above, but I did have that one that was really different. This has changed my life forever. I just want my story heard and to get more answers. Signed, R. Number 3. Dear Tattooed Biker, here's my story. I don't know if you cover a lot of stuff like this, but here goes. It was around 10:20 p.m. on June 7th, 2021, and I was getting ready for bed, so I had to take my dog for a walk. I took her to the end of the street, which is usually where we turn around and go back home, but it had started to rain. Both of us love the rain, so I decided to keep going. We walked about 10 more minutes down to Highland Park and just sat at a picnic table for a while, enjoying the rain. That was when I started feeling this weird sort of fear, as if there was some predator watching me from the woods. Eventually, the fear grew too strong, and I got up and speed walked away. From there, we went down to the lagoon, a retired sewage pond that had been recently drained, and I decided to walk all the way around it. But the fear still went on and just got stronger. I could have sworn something was stalking me, so I just bolted. I ran as fast as I could for as long as I could. When I stopped to catch my breath, I looked around to check for predators and saw nothing, until I looked up. Hovering above, there were 2 triangle-shaped, for lack of a better term, flying machines. They were a dark, sort of hazy gray with a faintly glowing red dome on the bottom, and 3 bright white lights coming off of each corner. The 2 of them circled each other in what appeared to be a very well-organized figure 8. I stood still and stared at them for maybe 3 minutes. I found watching them very calming, until one of them stopped and suddenly I was engulfed in a white light. I couldn't see anything and I was frightened out of my wits, but then I suddenly calmed instantly. I wasn't even out of breath anymore and the light went away, and by that time both of them were gone. I thought at first it was nothing and just sped walk home. But when I got home it was 3:17 a.m., 5 whole hours after I left. From my perspective, I thought I'd been gone for maybe 45 minutes. The next day, while at work, I kept getting memory flashes of being on a platform in an all-white room, surrounded by tall, nude, blonde people. I also had memory flashes of being released from the platform and trying to mingle with the tall, nude, blonde people, who I suspect to have been Nordic aliens, or what are referred to as Pleiadians. And they all looked like they were scared of me. One of their hands glowed blue and slapped me in the face. For now, that's all I remember, but every second day or so, I get another memory flash. People talk about lost time scenarios and possible abductions. I am fairly convinced that this is what happened to me. I just don't know why they would assault me. Slapping my face wasn't necessary. In fact, I had a red mark and a slight bruise on my left cheek for several days. There's something else I don't understand. What happened to my dog during my abduction? Did she accompany me, or was she placed into a state of limbo during the event? Nothing else has occurred since the incident, but I never want to experience anything like that again. By the way, I live in Salisbury, New Brunswick, Canada. And there it is. All I have today for viewers' true encounters and abductions by alien beings. I want to give a big thank you to everyone who bravely shared their stories with us. If you have your own encounter to share or any thoughts on today's video, please leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more unexplained and unsolved content like this. As always, stay curious, stay vigilant, stay safe, keep your eyes on the stars, and I'll be seeing you on down the road a ways. Biker.